Apologize for the delay, sir.
Oh, no worries.
Appreciate your patience. Obviously, not the result you wanted last time out, I guess, but you talked to me about the lessons you take out and kind of how you move past that.
I said earlier in some interviews, like, I felt like it was a good matchup stylistically. I still feel that way. It just wasn't my night, and sometimes that happens in this sport, I always laugh when we always talk about max effort. That's a big theme at our gym, and I've never gotten a fight and left there and be like, man, I didn't give everything I had. I gave everything I had. It just wasn't, was it the best I could ever do? No, but it was the best I could do that night, and I didn't get the job done. But, there was a lot of growth in that camp. There's a lot of things that I didn't get to show off in that fight that will be able to be shown off now. That's 6 months of work in between, including that camp. So just a lot of work that I'm looking forward to translating this Saturday. I take my losses pretty well, so it was definitely a bummer, but I'm excited to get back in there.
Is there any frustration that you end up on the same card as the guy? Like, you got to walk around and see him maybe or whatever?
The only thing that's frustrating is he's a super nice guy. He's super likable. He fought my teammate Dustin Jacoby. So we already talked. We're planning on getting beers after and celebrating. So, yeah, no ill will at all.
That's awesome, man. All right, so you get the matchup again with Rodolfo Viera. I mean, was it a matchup you wanted to put back together? Did it matter to you?
Stylistically, everything physically, I felt like it was a good matchup. I took the fight, like I said, 6 months ago when I felt like I was a worse fighter. I feel like I'm a much better fighter now. Just kind of some issues. It's hard to say yes to a guy that pulls out the week of a fight, right? I get it's not his fault. He had some issues. I even reached out to him afterwards and was like, hey, man, hope everything's okay. But it is frustrating. There's a lot of time and money and effort put in by a lot of different people. And so to have that fall through, you're definitely wary to take a fight where maybe that might happen again. Because I wasn't the first guy that happened against, right? Like, he kind of has a history of this. And so that was the only thing that was a holdup on my end. But then it's just kind of like you got to focus on what you can control, and I can't control what he's got going on. And I like the matchup, like I said, physically, stylistically. So I said yes. But it was, at first I was like, I don't know if I want to, fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice. So, but he's here. It looks like everything's going to go off well. So looking forward to it.
I was going to say, so as you sit there today, are you like, is this dude really going to show up? Or?
Yeah, no, I'm fully prepared for him to be there and the best version of himself. So, like I said, at first it was definitely like hesitation, but I feel good now.
Nice. Preparation, you said it was great preparation. Preparing for a specialist, right? So, I mean, what's your approach to preparing for a specialist? Is it do nothing but their specialty so you're ready for it, or make sure you stick to your own game because you've got to implement what you do?
I think the majority is just kind of stick to my own game and how I win and how I get the job done, and then just be aware of, where the guy's good at. I'm very fortunate. I have really good training partners. Anthony Smith has been in camp with me this whole fight. And, he's a high-level black belt. I had Zach Cummins in camp with me. He's another high-level black belt. All the big guys at Factory X kind of just aligned that we were all fighting around the same time. So everybody peaking together, competing hard. And, yeah, mostly just focusing on what can I do to win this fight and less about what he can, but just being aware, like, hey, these are some spots that you might get in, and how do we work through them?
I know when this fight got booked, you kind of said there's like a chip on your shoulder, right? Is it anytime you're trying to rebound, like there's a chip on your shoulder? Or is there something special about this time around?
I don't know if it's something special. I feel like there's a chip on my shoulder because every fight I've had in the UFC, I've been an underdog. I don't think people really give me much respect, which is okay. Maybe I haven't done anything to earn it. In my eyes, I have, but that doesn't really matter sometimes. So I feel like I have a chip on my shoulder because people are counting me out. I know they are. And just, with everything that happened the first time this fight got booked and fell through, I know it wasn't his fault. He had some things going on, but you took food out my family's mouth, so now I got a chip on my shoulder.
Hey, that's just fair, right? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, find motivation where you can, right?
I love it. Last thing for me, I guess, what do you think we see here, man? Is this a fight where, you have to go to the ground, you have to survive that? Is it a fight you can dominate? I mean, what do you think we see here?
I mean, I definitely think I can dominate this fight. I think I will dictate where the fight takes place. I think I'm the bully. I have the better cardio. I have the better power in my hands. I'm younger. He has a very clear path to victory. Take me down, find a submission. I feel like I can win this fight in any way. I can beat him in a decision. I can knock him out. I can submit him. So I feel like that just gives me options, and I just have to just let it flow, right? Like not hunt for anything too hard. And if I do that, I feel like it'll be a really special performance.
Cody, how are you enjoying beard life?
Beard life. This is a pretty scraggly beard, but it's the best I can do, so it's pretty good.
So your last fight, you opened up the main card. Now you're the featured bout. Do you think that's just what do you think what do you think the UFC thinks of of you putting you in that spot?
I think I'm a guy who's really willing to enter the fire in all my fights. Win or lose, I feel like it's an exciting fight. I don't have too many fights that go to decision. I'm a finisher. I'm a fast starter, and fortunately, most of the people I fought have been fast starters as well, and that makes for exciting fights. So I feel like that's part of the reason moving up the card, and then also, this card on paper, people are looking at it and they're like, oh, it's not the best card of the year. So kind of a mixture of those two things.
And finally, how's the daughter?
She's good, man. She's going to be a big sister. I got another little girl coming in July. It's the MMA fighter's curse. I guess we all have girls. So I'm excited. This fight is perfect. Not that that's a bad thing. Having girls is, yeah, let me say that. Having girls is not a bad thing. It is a stressful thing.
It's just all guys want to have a boy.
Exactly, yeah. All guys want to have a boy. But I'll tell you what, now I'm on the girl dad life, right? I only want girls. Because I was thinking about, I was like, my girl's never going to come home one day and I'm looking kind of beat up after a hard day of work and be like, I could probably kick his ass. But if I have a son, he's going to do that. So I'm definitely down for the all-girl life. Like I said, I'll have another little girl here in July, and me and my wife are super excited about that and kick it off with a big performance Saturday.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I just have one, and it's not about women. Don't worry. You talked about it a little bit already, but with the pullout, at what point do you really feel confident? Is it when the cage doors close? Is it when he weighs in? What's the moment you feel like this is going to happen, or do you already feel like that?
I feel like that. I feel like he's going to make it. Once we got here, especially, it kind of we're locked in, and I know he's put in a hard camp. I don't want him to see this and be like, he thinks I'm not going to make it, I'm going to quit. There's no disrespect there. It's just, it is like a hesitation when someone's pulled out multiple times. You're like, I don't really want to risk all my money on this thing when I have other things coming up, like a baby coming and things in real life. So I'm confident he's going to make it. And like I said, I'm confident he's going to be the best version of himself. I also think that he gets kind of underrated. His striking is very underrated. But I'm confident he'll be there. I'm confident it'll be the best version of him, and I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be an exciting fight, so looking forward to it. Thank you. Thanks, guys.